You was a pizza boy, and now you're here, living a high life in Dubai, multi-millionaire.
Life changed when I actually got into trading.
Just to make it clear, you have nothing to sell the audience either, do you?
Making £6.95 an hour.
Yeah.
And these guys are talking about M's. That's what opened my mind. Because if I could get even a slice of it, bro, I'm happy. I blew all the money. Now it's like do or die. All the savings was gone. That was like the lowest point of my life. Making dad's 10k back, getting that property for dad, and having a large lump sum for me to trade with continuously. If I started earning 30 grand a month, I was 18 years old. UK is not making sense for me. I wasn't inspired. I hated being like a big fish at the time. I wasn't using Bitcoin as an investment, by the way. I was using it to save my money. That's when actually the BBC journalist reached out to me. I realized, bro, there's so many gurus making back-end deals with brokers and all of that sort of stuff.
Now do you look at this as, okay, this is generational wealth play?
100%. This is generational wealth because, bro.
So you were from the same part of London I was from. Grew up in the same sort of area, same sort of environment. And now you're here, living a high life in Dubai, multi-millionaire. Times have changed a lot. But explain to myself and the audience, bro, for those who are tuning into this podcast, why should they stay tuned into the end and why should they listen to you?
Yeah, the background that I come from, a lot of people will be able to relate to, especially the demographic of viewers and so on. And not only that, I used to be a viewer myself, you know. I'd watch it for entertainment, watch the CEOCAST for entertainment and stuff like that. So these are sort of people that would hop on.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I think now it makes sense for me to come on and talk about my story or talk about where I'm coming from, you know?
Yeah. What's the bit about it that makes sense for you to come on now?
Especially at the fact that right now I'm in a very good place mentally. I'm quite grown now. I'm 26 now. And I've been through the ups, the downs, the middle. And I know it's not the end of my journey yet. I feel like now I'm just getting started in where I'm at right now, but I think it just made sense for me to come on now that I feel comfortable to, you know?
Yeah, fair. Well, your life wasn't always like this, bro. It's funny because you wrote me a message of what your life was once like, and you was a pizza boy, essentially a pizza delivery boy. So I suppose let's start off with that, bro. Your whole upbringing and why you are relatable. Where did you come from? What did your environment look like? Household, the whole lot. Let's go for it.
Yeah, bro. So I'm born in London. I have one sister, one brother. Grew up in a council house, actually, in Hackney. Yeah, went school there, secondary school there, primary school there. My secondary school doesn't even exist anymore, but yeah, Hackney Free got closed down. And yeah, grew up with from humble beginnings, you know. My dad was a minicab driver, typical Asian, minicab driver. My mum was stay at home, you know, traditional Bangladeshi mum, you know.
Yep.
And I had dreams for more. I just didn't know how to get more, you know. So I put my head down on the only thing that made sense, was studying and so on. I wasn't great at it though.
Well, you talk about actually in school and stuff.
Yeah, in school, you know. My GCSEs are probably like I got B's and C's and all of that. And when I went to college, I went to two colleges actually, Hackney Community College and then Tower Hamlets College.
Okay.
First, because my first year around, I failed everything. I got U's, you know. But I knew I wanted more out of life. I just didn't know how. I couldn't make sense of it. And, you know, like social media was a different place back then. So there wasn't like examples I could follow or somebody's footsteps I could follow or anything like that. So I thought I'll go down the traditional route. I was studying level 3 BTech science. So biology, chemistry, all of that sort of stuff. I hated it. Canary Wharf wasn't far from my house. It was actually like 15 minutes from my house. And I fell in love with that place, man. I would go there just for like inspiration, just for motivation. I'd look around, I'd see like guys in suits going to work, pulling up in nice cars. And I think, man, I want to live that life. I wasn't thinking, oh yeah, I want to live a lavish life, crazy life or anything like that. I wanted to be comfy. Yeah. You know, that was my intention. I just wanted to be comfy, earn a good income, drive a BMW home, read a newspaper on the way to work, wear a suit to work and all of that, you know? So I always thought, okay, how can I do that? How can I accomplish that? Not through education though, because education wasn't it for me.
So what age was this when you used to go to Canary Wharf and see that?
18, 17.
Okay.
I was 17, 18, you know? Because my first year of college, I had to resit. So yeah, 17, 18 years old. And yeah, I was working at Domino's. I was getting like £6.95 an hour.
So was Domino's right? This is how we're gonna go to Canary Wharf and stuff. Or...
Yeah, believe it or not, I thought, you know what? How many hours do I have to work to be able to buy a nice BMW? Or how many deliveries do I have to make to be able to afford like a nice lifestyle? You know, be able to eat a nice takeaway or like eat at a nice restaurant at the end of the week. That was my intentions. That was my goals in the beginning. You know, I didn't have massive goals. My goals was just to be able to live comfy. Yeah. Now, life changed when I actually got into trading. It wasn't the typical story or anything like that. It wasn't a case of, I got rich quick, got rich overnight or anything like that, bro. So...
And I just want to, at this point right now, because I know what people are thinking, just to make it clear, you have nothing to sell the audience either, do you? Okay, so it's not like one of them ones where buy my course and
no, I'm not here for any of that.
Yeah,
no.
Which is why I thought, you know what, this makes sense to have you on the podcast.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. That's why I thought it makes sense for me to come on now, especially, you know, because I'm in a different place in life, you know. But yeah, when I got started in trading, bro, independently trading, so like a retail trader, not selling courses or anything like that, or not trading somebody else's money, just trading with my own money.
Before we stumble into that, let me ask you why you even went into trading in the first place.
Okay.
Because I remember, so we're basically same age. You're 26, I'm 27, right?
Yeah.
Now, back then, I had no idea what trading was. I didn't even know it was a thing. I knew that obviously there was these gurus online portraying that, you know, if we're going to tell you everything to do.
Yeah.
Signals used to exist.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. So that was what I knew trading as.
Okay.
What was your first encounter with trading? Why did you think, okay, cool, this is going to be my career choice?
Okay. My first encounter was kind of different. Like I mentioned, social media wasn't really a thing. It wasn't really popping like that. 2016, October 2016, like social media was Instagram. The icon used to look different, you know. People would people would be on Instagram to look at what Floyd Mayweather or somebody is up to. You know. So for me, my experience was being in Canary Wharf or like going down Liverpool Street and going down like certain areas in London where I'd come across like traditional traders. Not your social media traders. I'm talking like
institutional bank traders.
Institutional bank traders, exactly. So I'm speaking to these sort of people. I'm coming across these sort of people. I'm not speaking to them. I was a nobody.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at like a coffee shop and I'm like listening to their convos. You know, I'm hearing they're talking about M's. I'm here making £6.95 an hour, and these guys are talking about M's. You know, and that's what opened my mind. That's when I thought, no, man, the world is a big place. You know, and this industry, to me, it looks sexy. You know, it was like, whoa, like this industry makes sense. This is the industry I want to get into. Because if I could get even a slice of it, bro, just a little piece, I'm happy. You know? So that's what reeled me in.
They would have fulfilled your goals at that point, just having a slice of it.
Yeah, just a slice of it, a little piece. I didn't need the M's at the time. My mentality wasn't making millions or anything like that, bro. I was in a council estate in Hackney. As you can imagine, like it doesn't cost much to just get a little bit of a lifestyle upgrade from that.
That's the thing, you know, when you're coming from where we come from, the goals that you have back then are just to get out of that area 100%. Or out of that situation. You want to go from a council house to, you know what, let me put my family in an apartment, you know, maybe the same sort of area, but, you know, not council owned.
Yeah.
And then, you know what, I want to go to a nicer school, or, you know what, I want nicer trainers. And as you complete those goals, that's when your goals go up and up and up and up.
100%.
And then eventually you come to places like Dubai and then your goals just go through the roof.
Yeah.
So what were I know you mentioned that you had your sort of minimal goals then, but if you had to list like 3 or 4 main ones back then, what were they?
Okay, when I first got started. Yeah. Okay, when I first got started, I wanted to be able to have a comfortable income that allowed me to buy like Air Maxes and Huaraches like at the end of every month.
Yeah.
I thought, I want a new pair of Air Maxes or a new pair of Huaraches at the end of the month. I want to be able to pay for dinners with my siblings. I want to take my little brother and little sister out. Like that was my mentality. I thought, because I wanted to take them out for dinners. Like when I say dinners, I don't mean like your Nusrats or anything like that. I'm talking like Tinseltown. I'm talking like just fast casual places and all of that, just to be able to comfortably take them to places like that and be like, get whatever you want on the menu, you know. So that's second. Third is I wanted to buy a Vauxhall Corsa. I wanted to buy this is when I first passed my driving test, so I needed my first car. So I thought, okay, I want to buy a nice blacked out Vauxhall Corsa, you know. So those are my 3 goals.
And when did you get them? Did you complete them?
I completed 2 of them. The Vauxhall Corsa I didn't buy. My first car ended up being an Audi.
Okay, so it's better than the Vauxhall Ford. Yeah, so you went past that goal.
Yeah.
Okay, fairs. And then in terms of actual trading now, so you stumbled across trading.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your whole journey from the beginning in it, because I know I've had traders on the podcast before, and they say within the first 1 year, 2 years, they're just learning, losing money, losing money. No one's actually making money in the beginning. What was it like for you?
Okay, so I think it all depends on your personality as well, bro. Because my personality was, I wanted things fast. So, you know, when I got started in trading, I didn't know what I was doing. Being honest, bro, I was basically gambling. Yeah. So I got into trading, retail trading. I find a broker. I put my money into this broker. I had like £1,000 to my name. So I put £1,000 into my trading account.
Your full net worth into your okay, yeah.
Yeah. I put my full net worth into my trading account, yeah. And I was in college at the time. And I remember these times like clear as day. Like that £1,000, by the way, I blew that in an hour. 1 hour.
So you had no risk management or nothing like that?
No risk management. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah. So I was going all in, you know, or all out. So £1,000. I remember I was in chemistry in class in college, Tower Hamlets College, yeah. And my £1,000, I put it into my trading account. My classmates are looking at me like, "Oh, you're doing trading?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the guy. You know, I'm doing trading. You know." But little did they know, I have no idea what I'm doing. That £1,000 gone down the drain. So a normal person would have stopped there.
Yeah.
Right? A normal person would have been like, "Okay, cool. This doesn't make sense for me. I lost it. Or I need to come back with risk management." No. So my dad, he used to keep his life savings as a minicab driver. He used to keep it in my bank account, in my savings account. Okay. So I thought to myself, why not take £1,000 from there, put that into a trading account, flip it, make my £1,000 back, put his £1,000 back into the account. Happy days, nobody knows, right? Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. So I put £1,000 from that amount. I remember I was on the bus. I was on the 277 bus going home, back to Hackney, yeah, from Tower Hamlets. And that £1,000, I lost that again. Blew it. Again, a normal person would be like, okay, like, I need to chill. No, what I did was I went home. I didn't talk to nobody in the house. I went straight to my PC. I told mum I'm doing coursework. I sat down. I put in now another 3 bags, 3 grand.
From your dad's account?
From dad's account.
Yeah.
Into my trading account, okay? I'm trading it. I remember now it's nighttime, Tokyo session. But I didn't even know about trading Tokyo pairs and all of that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to buy the pound, GBP, USD and all of that. And it's not even moving. I'm like, why is it not moving? I didn't understand the markets. I didn't understand
markets
how to trade. Yeah, like I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm like, why is the market not moving? I closed the trade, closed the trade and lost. By the morning, okay, that 3 grand, I brought it down to 1 grand. So I lost 2 grand. You know?
Whoa, when you think about it like that, you lost 2 grand. But all in all, you've probably lost at this point 4 grand.
Yes, I lost quite a bit of money now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, so just to break this down further, this in the space of how long? So when you first deposited the first £1,000 from your account to now when you've put
2 days.
What, from the first initial grand?
Yeah.
To when you put the 3 grand in?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just going burning money quick.
I'm burning money.
That's almost like gambling mindset.
Yeah, and I was at a point where it was like, okay, I either make it all back or I die, because my dad has no idea. He has no idea that I've taken the money, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm using the money.
South Asian family, you are literally going to die.
I'm actually going to die. So I knew it's do or die at this point, you know. At these points, I remember I was doing driving lessons. I was doing my driving lessons and all of that. I remember one driving lesson. I forgot to indicate, and then my instructor's like, "Are you all right?" I just started crying. I burst out crying. I was like, "Mate, I'm going to die." I lost my dad's life savings. I'm losing all his money, you know? And then he's like, oh, like, he didn't charge me for the session. He felt bad for me. Anyway, I'll go back home now.
Don't do that, kids.
Yeah.
Don't cry in front of your instructor expecting a free lesson.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's not an investment or anything like that. So now, okay, I really need to make the money back, bro. Like, the pressure is on. And during this time now, my dad, he wants to go view properties in Liverpool. He's like, hey, like, I'm going to look at properties in Liverpool. He's talking to an estate agent. I'm like, Dad, like, with what money? He's like, oh, don't worry, I got money saved, like, in your savings account, you know? We're going to use that.
Just a quick one, if you don't mind me asking, and if it's too personal, feel free to not say.
Okay.
How much was that money, like, in the personal account?
In the savings?
Yeah, in the savings account, sorry.
10 grand. It was literally just 10 grand.
Just
He wanted to use it as a deposit.
Okay.
For a mortgage.
Yeah, so you had used 3 grand of that.
Yeah.
You'd used 4 grand of that.
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So he's like, don't worry, like, I got money saved in the account, you know, for you to buy for us to get a house in Liverpool, you know, you can use that as a deposit for a mortgage. I'm thinking, this guy has no idea. So now the pressure's even more, because he's going to need that money soon. And he has no idea that I've already lost some of it. Okay, so now what do? I go on Google. And I search best traders in the world, or like, who can I pay like to make me money and stuff like that. Now I come across some scams. This is now because I'm looking for it now. I'm looking for people that can help me out in my situation. I was in a vulnerable situation. And then there's guys that tell me, oh, like, pay me $1,000 and then I'll flip your money for you. There's other guys telling me, follow my signals. I'm like, what signals? They're doing all of this sort of stuff. So I paid one guy $1,000. He disappeared, blocked me on social media. There was another guy telling me he's going to send me signals. Every single trade was going like the opposite way.
Yep.
So now, before I know it, I've burnt through like $6,000 of the savings account now. Bro, I'm in trouble. So now it's like do or die, you know? Now it's do or die for me. Actually, it was do or die all the way up until then, you know? But the pressure was really on, because now the dream is kind of fading.
Yeah.
Now the dream at that point is not to have a comfy life.
It's just to get back what you had.
Yeah, that was the dream. Because I didn't appreciate that I was actually in an all right position in life. You know, my parents are getting benefits. You know, we're on benefits. I'm about to apply for university. My dad's savings is in my account. I'm earning from Domino's. I didn't realize that I was comfortable then. So just wanted to get back to that position. So what did I do? I started focusing on money management. Then I started focusing on risk management, you know. Every time I got paid from Domino's, it was like every 2 weeks, I would deposit that into the account, so top it up. And it would look like the money's going up. So for me, it's like, oh, okay, like I'm getting closer. Really and truly, it wasn't. I was just depositing more. I wasn't making profits from trading.
Yeah.
So I started understanding risk management more, but the pressure was on too much for me. And before I knew it, bro, October 2016, I blew all the money.
All the savings.
All the savings was gone. And that was like the lowest point of my life at that moment of time. I thought it can't get any worse. I was supposed to be applying for university, you know, more debt, student loans and all of that sort of stuff. I was like, forget that. Like, I'm not going to apply for no university. Why should I apply for a student loan? Because I just lost my dad's life savings.
Yeah.
I'm asking for more shifts at Domino's. Before I knew it, I'm leaving the house with my college uniform under, with my Domino's with my Domino's uniform, yeah. My mom's thinking I'm going college, I'm going Domino's, I'm working full time, I'm opening store, closing store, you know, I'm working full time now. It's to make the money back, you know, and the pressure was too much. One day, like perfect settings, it was like rainy, it was thunder, like Bollywood movie settings, you know. My dad was going to pick up my little brother from school, and I told him I'm going to come with you. And he found out odd straight away, because like our relationship wasn't great. Like, you know, I'm barely home. He's working, all of that. So I went with him and I told him, Dad, I need to tell you something. I lost all the money. And at the time, his reaction did shock me a little bit. It was like, I already knew you lost all the money. So I thought, I was stressing this whole time, and my man already knew. Dad already knew that I lost all the money. He was like, don't worry, it's just £1,000. Your £1,000 savings that you lost, don't worry, it's okay. You'll make it back. Money comes and goes. He was talking about my $1,000.
Yeah, in your account.
Yeah, in my account. I told him, Dad, I lost all the money. I lost your savings. The 10 grand, I lost it, Dad. Now, I watched a grown man in front of me break down, crying, tears. But I thought I was going to get a slap back to Bangladesh, but his reaction at that time, that broke me as well. Because not only did I ruin my life at the time, bro, I ruined my dad's life.
Well, not just your dad, your whole family.
My whole family's, you know, because he did this for my family, you know, he did all of this. He worked all of these days, months, years, whatnot, saved that money for my family, for us. So that woke up like a beast in me, you know, that made me realize, yo, like, I had this mentality where if I can lose this money through trading, I know I can make this money back through trading. So that was my mentality going into it, you know. So I started studying. I was studying the charts, studying. I was ghost. All my friends at the time remember I was ghost. I was not at no parties, I wasn't outside. I wasn't anywhere to be seen. I was studying. I was at home. And yeah, bro, as time went by, every time I got paid from Domino's, I started stacking that into my trading account. I'm growing it. A little bit of it, I'm giving it to my mum every week. And I'm growing my trading account.
Did you tell your parents that you were working full-time at Domino's now, or that still wasn't?
At that
So-
moment of time, our relationship was just down the drain.
Okay.
You know, so we wasn't even talking.
Okay.
You know, because like, look at me, I just lost my dad's life savings.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like me and him were barely talking to each other then. So
What about you and your mum? Because I know a mother and son's relationship, there's always that soft spot.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what money you've lost, etc. I'm sure everyone can say this, that their mother is their heart.
100%.
And whatever happens in life, you'll always have that relationship, and the mum will always have a soft spot as well, especially being the oldest son.
Yeah.
So what was that relationship like with your mum?
So with my mum, it became a thing of like she was always cool. You know, she was always cool. She was disappointed, but she was always cool. It didn't affect our relationship. Like she was more so like she would tell me, "Oh, like don't work so hard." Like, oh, she'll see me going out with my Domino's uniform. She'll tell me like, no.
Yeah.
She'll tell me not to go. You know. I remember one time, funny story. They had no idea I was doing deliveries as well. By the way,
Yeah.
I was at a traffic light, and my dad was picking up my sister from school. And he was at the traffic light, parked. Stopped at the traffic light. I'm on my moped now. With my helmet on and everything. I look to my right and I see my dad and sister. I bust the red light. I'm like, that can't let them see me.
Did they know you have a moped as well?
No, I was grinding, bro.
That's crazy.
I was grinding. They had no idea. So, yeah. Then, thankfully and luckily for me, it kind of put the pressure off my shoulders now that my dad knew. It was more so like it wasn't a race anymore.
But wouldn't you say that's also a dangerous thing as well? Because sometimes you need the pressure to make back in your case, what you once had.
100%.
Or you need pressure to make diamonds.
100%.
Now that the pressure's off, you could either take it two ways. Right, I'm going to hone down and concentrate. Or he knows now, I'll concentrate, but I don't need to concentrate that hard. I don't need to work as hard. So what was it like?
I think this is what separates men from, like, who's cut from a different cloth, you know? Like, naturally, I could have been a waste man and just chilled and been like, yeah, I lost all the money. All right, cool. My dad knows now. Calm. I wanted more out of life, bro. Look, what was my first goal? To have a comfy life, to be able to take my siblings out, taking them out for food and all of that regularly, to give them a comfy life. So I knew if it's going to be, it's up to me, you know? So I knew I had to put my head down, bro. It wasn't a case of, yeah, all right, the pressure's off now. No, it was more so like it wasn't a race anymore. I wasn't no longer like gambling away, like race against time, trying to make this money back. Now I was in a different mental state. So that allowed me to focus on what was important, which was how to actually trade.
Yeah.
You know, now that allowed me to actually put some time and effort into how to actually trade. Now, granted, yes, I know for majority of people, everybody's journey is different. Everybody takes a different amount of time to make money or find a way to make money online, whatever industry it's in. Yeah. Now, for me, it was more so about understanding how to trade and being comfy with a certain amount of income. A lot of people try to get rich quick overnight.
Yeah.
Me, my money management technique was just to firstly make back my dad's 10 grand. Okay. Now, in the grand scheme of things, if I'm getting paid £6.95 an hour, if I'm working good hours and then putting that into a trading account, I just need to make a decent amount percentage-wise to make that money back, which is what I did. So I focused on that. I focused on risk management, being comfortable, not over trading, not over risking anything. And it was the year of 2017 now. 2017, like summertime, 2017, is when I made my dad's money back. And not only did I make my dad's money back, I made sure I had a lump sum amount that he was able to buy his property with, the property that he wants to buy. And not only that, have a lump sum in my trading account as well. So making dad's 10K back, getting that property for dad, and having a large lump sum for me to trade with continuously. So that was, I would say, like the first phase of my journey. You know, that was the first phase where I started off in a minus. You know, I started off with weights attached to my leg in the race, you know, and I'm looking left and right and I'm seeing now people's lifestyles changing, people living this life. And I realized my journey is different. You know, I knew what my goals were, so I wasn't racing to success or anything like that. So that was essentially the first part of my journey that got me to the point to understand that, okay, trading's for me, and I knew how to trade. And yeah.
What was that feeling like of you finally being able to give your dad his money back?
Bro, I found peace at a different level. I didn't care about anything else, you know. My attendance was super low at college. I didn't care, you know. I knew I wasn't going to go uni because my attendance was super low or anything like that. But I knew, okay, I made my dad's money back, you know. That was his money. That was for our future. And yeah, I just felt like break even in life,
Mm.
you know? That was my mentality at that point. So I was gassed.
And then the second point to mention was what you said there, of everyone's on their own journey. Now, naturally, when you're on social media, whether it be yourself, myself, people who are watching this right now, it's so natural and so easy to compare yourself amongst other people, whether it be other traders or people you went to school with who are just doing exceptionally well, other entrepreneurs online, whatever the case may be. How did you manage to stay focused on realizing that I'm on my own journey and I shouldn't compare myself to anyone else?
So I compare it by, at the time, I looked at what I had, okay? I looked at what I had, which was, again, I was living in a council house in East London, in Hackney. I was working at Domino's, and at the same time, I'm studying in college. My family are on benefits. I knew I need to first get to a point where we're not against the odds. I wasn't against the odds, you know? I don't know what these other people's actual journeys were.
Yeah.
I can see them shining. I can see them living a great lifestyle and whatnot. But I can't see what's going on behind the scenes. The same way they can't see what's going on behind the scenes of my life.
Yeah.
Nobody knew, believe it or not, nobody knew I lost my dad's 10K at the time. Maybe my driving instructor. But not many people knew. I kept it to myself, you know? So that made me realize that maybe other people, the same thing. Maybe they're going through their own hurdles, you know, they're fighting their own battles. So that made me realize I need to stay on my own lane, you know? And one thing about staying in your own lane, there's no traffic. So that's why that allowed me to really have a clear path to success. I knew, okay, I need to stay in my own lane, stay on this one lane, not get distracted, not divert or anything like that, and stick to it, you know?
So then now you've completed your initial goals, or actually no, they're not even your initial goals. They were your renewed goals.
Yeah.
And now I suppose at this point, you've given your dad's money back. You've got money in your trading account waiting for you to start trading. You've learned how to trade.
Yeah.
Before we get into what your next steps were trading, did you implement new goals with what you had?
Yeah.
What were they?
So now the goals were completely different. Because now that I've broken even, now that I've made some good money, now that I've cut down my hours at Domino's to the point of 0. I walked out from Domino's. Now it was more so about, okay, leveling up our lifestyle. When I say leveling up our lifestyle, I don't mean, hey, driving Lamborghinis and G-Wagons and all of that sort of stuff. No. I mean, okay, living comfortably, bills paid, all of that, not having to worry about bills anymore, not having to worry about rent or anything like that. And at the same time, also knowing, okay, I can pay for giving my siblings a good life and all of that, you know? So that was my next goals. And the financial, with that, a financial target was required, you know? I knew, okay, I need to comfortably be making 5 to 10 grand a month, you know, to do all of that at the start. So for me, that was the target. And I started working towards it, you know? That's throughout 2017, Actually, that was the target in 2017. But before I knew it, it's like a lot of things in my life or in this journey that you just heard from. I set a certain target, but I kept smashing through it. So my first target, again, 5 to 10 grand a month. I started earning 30 grand a month. I was 18 years old. I think my first tax bill from HMRC.
How was that?
I was gassed.
Gassed about a tax bill?
Because they classed me as like a wealthy business. You know, when they state what category they put you at. And I was like, damn, that's me, you know? So I was quite gassed until I saw how much I had to pay, of course.
Yeah.
So I had
Do you remember that?
Yeah. So in tax year of 2017, HMRC, I had to pay £120,000.
That's a lot of bloody tax.
Yeah. So I had to pay £120,000. So that is no. Yeah, tax year 2017. So April to April from October 2016. October 2016 was when I first started earning money from trading, right? So April 2016 to April 2017, I had that tax bill, which is fat, you know? So that shows in that short space of time, I made a lot of money, you know? Paid that, and then just decided, UK is not making sense for me. And not only that, I wanted to move out anyway. My environment was dead at the time. I wasn't inspired, you know? I hated being like a big fish at the time. And I wanted to naturally grow. Because I heard this saying online somewhere, like, if you keep a shark in a tank, the largest it can ever grow is the size of the tank. If you leave a shark in the ocean, it's going to grow to its potential, you know, max potential.
Megalodon.
And I wanted to be a megalodon, you know? I knew, okay, like, I've reached my goals, reached my targets. I want to keep growing. You know, I want to go somewhere where my environment elevates me. I hated elevating my environment at the time. Like, people were always asking me for favors, people asking me for money, people asking me for this, that. Nobody was helping me. Nobody was benefiting me. Nobody was adding to me. Even though that is a bit of a selfish mentality, but at the same time, I knew, bro, like, I had to be real about it. My environment wasn't growing me at the time, you know? So I saved, and I saved, kept saving my money. I didn't make stupid investments. I wasn't investing here and there into stupid things. Actually, maybe one stupid investment. I bought a care home.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I bought a care home. Now, at the time, I thought, hey, this is sensible, you know, for old people. You know, I'll get my income from my units and all of that. Care home closed down. The care home had to close down because there wasn't enough, at the time, there wasn't enough, like, clients, you know. So that was a wasted investment. But so that was one investment. Now, I just kept saving, you know, wasn't making stupid investments at the time. Oh, another thing, my income was coming in through crypto. So my trading profits, I was withdrawing in Bitcoin at the time, okay? So I wasn't using Bitcoin as an investment, by the way. I was using it to save my money.
Yeah.
So transfer money, save my money and all of that. And that's when actually the BBC journalist reached out to me because I ended up moving to Dubai. Because Dubai made sense for me. I decided to move to Dubai. I was 19 or 20 years old at the time, yeah? And I bought my car in Bitcoin, my first car in Dubai. And then that's when a journalist reached out and said, hey, like, we want to do an article on you, speak to you about how you did it, you know? I didn't know how I did it because Bitcoin was the hype at the time. I was just using it to save my money and transfer money. I would say that was a stroke of luck. You know, a stroke of luck comes into play. But yeah, I ended up moving to Dubai 2019. Yeah.
I want to ask you, as you just said there, your environment, a shark can only grow so big when he's in a small fish tank. What about your friendship circles and stuff like that? As you start making money, and this isn't a time to dish out on your old friends or anything like that, but did you see people around you change? Maybe people you never spoke to starting to say, yo, Javed, like, let's go here, let's do this, let's do that. Do you think people around you started to change when you look back at it, or?
You know what? So social media wasn't a big thing back then, right? I started documenting my journey actually at the time. You know, that I'm making some decent money. Every time I withdrew from my trading account, I would record myself calling my dad and telling him, hey dad, like, I've transferred you $3,000, you know, and all of that sort of stuff. People were seeing that. Friends, family, everybody was seeing that. And there's two ends of the coin. Some were being inspired. Some were genuinely motivated and all of that sort of stuff. And others, I would say, they jumped to the easy conclusion, which is, oh, that's all fake. Oh, that's not real.
Yeah.
Oh, his dad's in on it. Or his family's in on it.
He's got a rich family.
Oh, he was actually rich. Yeah. You know, he was actually rich all along, you know? So there's two sides of it, and I experienced both, but it never really bothered me, you know? Again, because my goals were so small at the start, I would enjoy just going for a nice drive, picking up a milkshake, you know, in ends, like, if you know Cookies and Cream in Whitechapel, like, bro, I'm going to pick up a...
Is that the one next to Nando's?
Yeah. So I'm going to pick up a milkshake and all of that, and people are taking pictures of me, like, people posting it on their stories, they saw me and all of that. I wasn't interested, you know? I enjoyed my own company, and I knew what I was doing, you know, and I enjoyed what I was doing, and I didn't really need the clout that came with it. So for me at the time, it was, people are naturally talking. People are of course going to naturally talk. This wasn't normal, you know? It wasn't normal, but it started becoming normal for me, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense. So now let's talk about the why. So was the first time you came to Dubai in 2019?
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't even come on holiday or anything like that. I remember asking friends and family, hey, like, where shall I move to? I wanted to move somewhere. So I went to Miami. I went on holiday to Miami for a couple months. I loved it. Had a blast. The food was great. The views, the weather and everything.
Did you go on your own, or?
I went with two of my friends. I took two of my friends with me. And we had a blast, yeah. And I made friends over there as well. Still till this day, got great connections there. Now, I remember going to the embassy, the US embassy, in Hatton Garden. I went and I told them, hey, like, I want to move to Miami, you know? They said, okay, it's going to cost like £500 for a consultation. And before the consultation, they're asking me, like, what do you want to move? I was like, oh, I want to chill there, you know? I love it. They're like, what do you do for work? I was like, I just make money on trading, like, online. And it wasn't a popular thing back then, you know? I paid So I tapped my card. I paid for the £500 consultation, and the lady was like, "You can't move to America. I'm sorry."
What, at the same moment?
Yeah. I was like, "What? Why?" She was like, "Firstly, you have no family there.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to open any jobs over there. You know, you're not going to start a business that's going to have staff and all of that sort of stuff, or anything like that. You have no personal ties, no personal connections there, you know?" And she was being honest with me as well at the time. She was like, "Look, like, you know, like, it's not adding up, your profile, who you are." I knew she was basically trying to say, "Look, you're brown, you know, you're brown, like, it don't make sense. Your surname's Khan,"
Yeah.
you know? So I was like, ah. So then I was in limbo. I didn't know where to move. So I went to Greece. I went on a quick trip to Greece with my dad, went to France. Then I booked a 3-day holiday to Dubai, okay? I stayed in downtown, booked an apartment, studio apartment there, and I fell in love. I fell in love with it, bro. Like, I went for a walk. I watched the Dubai fountain, and I was like, "Yo, this is free. I don't have to pay to watch this fountain. Like, this is a vibe. I'm loving it. I'm having a blast." So I called my parents, and I told them, "Hey, guys, I'm moving to Dubai." My mum was like, "What? Like, you're actually going to move?" I was like, "Yeah." She thought I was joking the whole time. She thought I wasn't serious. I was like, "No, I'm actually going to move here, you know?" Like, so I booked a ticket for my dad to come check out Dubai with me. And then as I was getting my visa and all of that, you know, when you do your blood test, sorting out all of that. Now, the lady, she recommended me to her husband.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, my husband's a real estate agent if you want to look at properties." I was like, "Yeah, I want to look at properties." So I met up with the real estate agent now. He's quite a big real estate agent in Dubai. And he took me around Dubai. You know, he took me around, showed me around Dubai. And the first house we viewed, it was a 4-bedroom villa. Community pool, community gym, all of that sort of stuff. I was like, "I'll take it." And he was like, "How? Like, aren't you gonna wait for your parents?" I was like, "No, like, I'm the one that's going to buy it."
Yeah.
He found that shocking at the time. He made it. He told me, he was like, I was his youngest client. You know, like I was 19 or 20, one of them. And yeah, I ended up buying the property. No furniture or anything like that. I slept on the floor the first night, but I was gassed. My first property in Dubai and all of that. And then, yeah, I realized I need a car. You know, you can't walk around everywhere in Dubai. And my taxis, booking taxis all the time, it was getting expensive. So I wanted to buy a Mustang. Because I thought, I want to buy a car I can't get in the UK.
Please tell me you didn't.
No. So I walked into the showroom, and there was a Bentley right at the front. I was like, "Oh, that looks sexy." Bentley, white Continental GT, red interior, carbon fiber, spoiler, all of that. I was like, "I'll take it." I'm driving it home. I video call my mum, and I documented it all. Like, I recorded it. My mum started crying because she was like, "Wow, like, I never thought you would buy a Bentley, you know? Like, the last time we was in one was in your uncle's wedding. Like, he rented a Bentley, you know, at his wedding, and we sat in it. And now I was driving one home to a home that I just bought. You know? So, yeah, the journey, everything was fast, happening fast.
Did it ever feel like pinch me moments?
It was crazy. I felt like I was in a dream.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in a dream, but I was getting on with it. I was loving it, you know?
Like, didn't wake up.
Yeah, I'm flying my friends out. My friends are staying with me, and they're like, "Yo, this is crazy." I'm like, "I know," you know? Like, I was just gassed.
Yeah.
Gas, young kid, and it's like I had the whole world in my hands, you know? It felt like that at the time. So, yeah, that was the first move.
I want to ask you, bro, on this point here, it's understood that, you know, you've got wealth, especially at a young age. For those who are watching this right now, who are in the younger years of life, maybe finishing their teenage years or coming into the early 20s or even mid-20s, what do you think they should learn about wealth and handling it?
100%. So I would say in the beginning, it wasn't wealth that I had. I was making money. Like, there's a difference, you know, difference between having wealth and being rich. At the time, I was a rich kid. I was making a lot of money through trading, you know. Now, I could have been a donor and splashed it on the wrong things.
Yeah.
I could have bought stupid assets that were not assets, sorry. I could have bought liabilities, you know. I could have splashed it in the clubs or doing things that at that age somebody would want to do, you know. You'll be enticed to do. I had bigger goals. I had bigger dreams. I knew, I want to buy a property that I know my family can live in with me, you know, stuff like that. So the mentality should be to make sure you're comfy. That's one thing I keep repeating. Like, my intentions was always to be comfy. God bless me. at every turn, you know, God bless me at every corner that I turned to, fortunately for me, where I got more.
Yeah.
The mentality should be to understand that, you really shouldn't be chasing a rich lifestyle or like a crazy lifestyle, flashy lifestyle, or flash pan lifestyle that I call it, yeah? The goal should be actual wealth, you know, generating actual wealth. Due to the fact that I bought my property and at the start and bought my car yes, cars are seen as liabilities and so on, but because I bought those things, I didn't have very many things to splash my money on or waste my money on. So what did that mean? That meant I could save. That allowed me to save. That allowed me to keep saving and get to a point I'm super comfortable, you know? So yeah, that was the mentality at the start, and also knowing what you want to do. I hear it like from my little cousins sometimes. They're like, oh, I want to do drop shipping. One of my other cousins are like, oh yeah, like I want to do this on social media. Oh, I want to do crypto. I want to do that. Bro, just choose a lane.
Yeah.
Choose a lane and stick to it.
How do you think people should choose a lane? Do you think that you've got to start at something what you're passionate about, or understand what makes money?
Okay, so I wasn't passionate about trading when I got into it. I didn't know if I would be passionate about it or not. I just realized it made money. It made sense. And when I stuck to it, it made even more sense for me. Now, I'm not telling people, oh, you're forced to choose one thing. It's like choosing subjects at university. A lot of the time, you don't know what you want to choose.
Yeah.
You don't know what options you want to choose at GCSE level. You don't know, but you end up choosing one. And then once you do it, you enjoy it, right? And the ones you don't enjoy, you don't put your head down. You don't focus on it. So I would say try different things. Literally try different things. For me, trading worked. For somebody else, it might not work, you know? Literally try different things. So that was that's my mentality regarding that.
And now, on the flip side of things, when you came to Dubai, you moved here and you live here alone, correct?
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there's a whole lot that you learn about yourself in times where you're living alone.
Yeah.
What do you think those things are? What did you learn about yourself in the times where it's just you in the house?
I learned I'm super impulsive, you know? Because when I'm not doing anything, that's when I'm looking to do something, you know, and for my betterment, it worked out great, you know, because I had a lot of time in my hands. At the time, I started diving into more of the corporate side of the trading industry. Okay. Because again, I was just a retail trader, right? Just trading on my account and all of that. But then I started diving into the corporate side. I started seeing that there was actually big companies, big corporations in the trading industry that are monetizing the industry, you know? So what I started doing with my free time was I started getting more into IT, you know, technology and all of that sort of stuff. And actually 2-3 years ago, one of the two, I can't remember right now, don't quote me on it. But 2-3 years ago, I was appointed director of a trading brand, okay, a corporate trading brand, a tech trading brand, okay. And what we've been able to accomplish in the industry, in the trading industry, actually, is that, think of it like this. You know how everybody's gets signals and stuff like that? That's all done.
Yeah.
You know, like so many gurus have been exposed regarding signals and courses and all of that sort of stuff. What this corporation has done now, this tech company, has basically, it has employed lots of traders, successful traders, okay? All of these guys that get paid a salary and so on, and they're incentivized to perform well. Now, these traders, they have a master account, okay? Their own account. And when they place trades on that account, via an API, it sends a notification to clients, and all clients need to do is press approve. When they press approve, the same trade places on their account, no matter what broker they're on, no matter what prop firm. So that overrides a lot of compliance issues, you know, and that doesn't force people onto a broker or anything like that, because I want to change the game. I've realized, bro, there's so many gurus making back-end deals with brokers and all of that sort of stuff. What we've been able to deliver in the industry is basically that comfort for customers to be able to receive trades or services on no matter what broker they're using, as long as they're paying this corporation, you know?
Yeah. No, that's it, bro, because that's basically tech, software, and infrastructure, and that's where, I mean, when you want to talk about generational wealth, when companies like that are sold, boy, they make stupid money.
Stupid money.
One of my friends,
as long as the clients are making money, as long as everybody's making money, everybody's happy.
One of my friends, Umar Ashraf, trader, from New York, he's got the company TradeZilla. Now, the infrastructure and the software that it has, like how powerful it is and how useful it is for traders is incredible. And when I look at it like that, I'm looking at, Umar, when are you going to sell? Because when he does, it's going to be
crazy.
I don't even know how much you can sell for, in the billions, I reckon.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I'm just thinking, that's where real money is made.
100%.
Do you recognize that? Like, you was once, as you said there, the rich kid. You was a rich kid. Now do you look at this as, okay, this is a generational wealth play?
100%. This is generational wealth because, bro, remember I mentioned my dad was a minicab driver, right? So he was a minicab driver at a minicab office.
Yeah.
Those were like taxi offices, you know? And I saw what happened in that industry when Uber came in. My dad lost his job. My dad was no longer being a taxi driver at a minicab office. He had to work for Uber.
Yeah.
Uber took over the industry, but why? Firstly, because it made life easier for the customers and it made life easier for the drivers, the service providers, right? So all parties were happy. All parties were either saving more money or making more money. So that's what I realized about this industry, or it can be any industry, but in the trading industry, because that's what I'm in, I realize if we're able to make life easier for the clients, make life easier for the marketers, the distributors, and everybody's happy. The company generates more money. And now, Akash last month was generating over $4 million, you know, just for the month.
Yeah, crazy.
So, but yeah, and I'm not here to push any brands or anything like that, or sell any courses, but
you just said there, courses. Let's talk about courses, right? Because you must have seen it on social media as well. And trading has got such a bad stigma and reputation, right? Obviously, me being in the podcasting game, I've spoken to a whole lot of traders. I know telltale signs between who's facade and who's actually the real deal. Do you think that the people who are the facade and the fugazis have just ruined everything?
100%. Because it came to a point where it's embarrassing to say how I made my wealth. You know, not because I'm embarrassed about it, it's because of everything that's going to come after I say I've made my money from trading to somebody, a normal person.
Yeah.
Because then a million questions are going to come, you know? Oh, like you make it through courses, or you make it through this, or you make
the questions won't even come. They'll just say one word, scammer.
Yeah, scammer.
Which is crazy.
Headache,
you
know? So it's not... For me, yes, those sort of individuals did ruin the industry. I keep it moving. I'm not really fussed about it. Like my social media, or on my social media, I'm just posting my lifestyle or keeping connected with friends, family, and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can imagine a lot of people that are actually trying to make it in this industry, that pulling them back or holding them back, you know?
What do you think is the biggest scam in the trading world right now?
Okay, so people not actually making money through trading, but back-end deals. Like, hey, join this broker, join this platform, and you'll get a free trial. But of course, if that individual deposits, the person makes a commission from the broker, blah, blah, blah.
So I was going to say this because, as sad as it is to say, there are a whole lot of people online who do exactly that. You know, they'll get the broker and this influencer would partner up with someone.
Yeah.
The broker and the influencer will partner up. Correct me if I go wrong here, please correct me. Broker and influencer partner up. They then recruit their followers to say, if you want to make money just like me, all you got to do is sign up to this broker.
Yeah. I'm
not taking a single penny from you. I'm the influencer in this situation. I'm not taking a single penny from you. I just want to see you do well as well.
Yeah.
You put the money in, so let's just say $500 into the broker. Whatever move you make, whether you win a trade or lose a trade, I'm getting your money, right? That's how it works?
Yeah.
Which is the biggest scam of 2025 or this whole century, really.
100%. Well, there's two ways you can look at it as well. Of course, if you're in the corporate side, if you're the broker, you don't care if the clients are making money, winning money. If it's an A-book broker, you know A-book and B-book?
No.
Okay, so A-book brokers are basically where the money is being actually invested into the actual markets, in layman terms.
Yeah.
B-book is where the individual is trading against the broker. If they lose, the money goes to the broker.
Okay.
Pocketed by the broker, okay?
Yeah.
So certain traders, like marketers and all of that, they don't care if their customers are losing money or making money and so on, because they make their commission from the broker. The broker pays them the commission, you know? So who loses out in that? The client, you know? So I think we're going to see a shift in the industry 100% because...
Do you think?
Oh, yeah, 100%, bro. Because, like I said, we saw what Uber did to the taxi industry. I see corporations doing that in the trading industry as well, like Akash being one of them, you know, like where customers are not being blindsided, marketers are happy with what they are earning, and the corporate will be happy with what they are making as well. Everybody's happy.
So everyone's happy. The people who are smart who are happy. But the issue is, you have stupid people who just fall for whatever the influencer says.
Yeah.
And that's where the marketing comes into it. You can't override the marketing.
Yeah,
Like
can't.
the tech's there, the software's there, I agree with you 100%. In terms of that overtaking that infrastructure, 100%. But when you've got the influencer marketing it down someone's throat to the point where they believe anything that's being said, and they go for it, that's when you can't. I don't believe you can't override that. I don't know how we can get rid of that, because there's definitely something in the world that I would love to see gone and vanished, done with. Because anyone who gets done dirty like that, I think it's just scumbag.
100%. I think the only way things like that can be ever sorted completely is if there's regulation, actual regulation. I'm not talking about FCA or FTC or SEC. I'm talking like actual regulation over influencers. Right now, there's no regulation over influencers, you know? So if an influencer is regulated now, the companies that they are marketing or they are pushing or the brands they are pushing have to be vetted. If they're vetted already and they are legit, it's not. If it's a financial firm, it will mention this is a financial firm, nothing's guaranteed and all of that. If it's a fizzy drink, you know, a soft drink or something like that, is vetted, you know, does it meet the regulation? So stuff like that. So I think for all of that to happen, regulation has to come into play. And
Influencer regulation, that would be sick. I think that would stop the whole game.
That would change the game.
Yeah. I'm going to get working on that. I want to come away from trading itself in a second, right? Yeah. Because I want to understand, you've been here in Dubai now. I've been debating it back and forth. I think a lot of people watching us assume that I live here because I'm here that often. And it is definitely a move that I want to make. But you've been here for the past 6 years pretty much. How has it changed your life? Because there's one, forget about being rich, because you could be rich anywhere in the world. Yes. You could have gone to any other country. But how has Dubai changed your life?
Okay, so it's changed my life in so many different ways, bro. I don't know how much time we got.
Got time, bro.
Yeah, it's changed my life in so many different ways, bro. One, firstly, okay, I come from Hackney. Okay, I come from Hackney.
Big transition at Hackney to Dubai.
Big transition, okay. Half of my maths class, unfortunately, up to this day, is not alive right now, that I went to school with, okay. My friends have passed away to the streets or wherever it may be, you know, like R.I.P. Marcel, Adai, Sharika, and so on. All of these individuals, they could have lived a fruitful life if they weren't in that environment, right? When I go to play football in my area, I just go to play in the cage with my friends and all of that. It's 9 p.m., it's 10 p.m. I'm seeing kids out in their scooters. I'm seeing kids at the swimming pool. I see kids walking around, doing their thing, enjoying themselves, being walked around with a maid or taking pets on a walk and so on. I don't see that happening in ends. I don't see that happening where we're from. You know what I mean? Now, that's one thing, because now I know, okay, this is somewhere I can raise my children. This is somewhere, like, I can raise my child. I'm expecting in July this year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so you're married. Oh, sick. I didn't even know that. Okay. Wait. Okay, well, we're going to get into the whole conversation after, but okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I'm expecting my first child, firstborn from myself this year. This is where I'd love for them to grow up. You know, it's safe. I don't have that fear in the back of my mind about their safety or anything like that, you know? So that's one thing. Second, the quality of life. So when I say quality of life, I mean, okay, in the UK, yes, if you pay more, you receive a better quality of life. You know, like if you pay much more, you know, to go to a spa and all of that sort of stuff.
That's why things like David Lloyd membership exist in the UK and they won't work here.
Here's normal.
Yeah.
Here's normal.
That's standard procedure.
Bro, when I bought my house, it comes with a community gym, community swimming pool that you don't pay for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's part of it.
It's part of it, you know? Community football cage, basketball. Bro, we got to pay, we got to rent goals.
Yeah.
Okay, right? We got to rent.
Yeah, they just got it on any corner you want.
Any corner you want. So all of that sort of stuff, like, is accessible, you know? And it's a norm here. Another thing, again, I grew up in the UK, like, schooling system, yeah? Like, and not only that, the environment that I grew up in, your dreams are molded by what you grow up in, I think. Because when you're growing up in the UK, bro, you either want to be a footballer, a rapper, or a trapper, or something, you know, because of the environment that you grow up in, right? Bro, here is completely different, man. I'm sure you probably see even, like, here kids want to be a successful dentist. Kids want to be a successful scientist, a tech CEO and all of that. Bro, it blew my mind. Sometimes I talk to the kids in my area. I'm like, yo, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? They're like, yeah, I want to be a CEO. I want to open my own version of Snapchat and all of that. I don't hear that in ends.
Yeah, you never would.
No.
You never would.
And maybe because of where I'm at right now mentally, these sort of conversations are important to me, because I want my child to have that sort of mentality when they grow up. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have the luxury of having this sort of access or these sort of community stuff and all that. Bro, I remember I struggled to find a youth club in my ends when I was growing up, you know? I used to be annoyed. I used to be like, why is there no youth club in the ends, you know? Like, we had a local music studio. That studio got closed down because of funding.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, like, it don't make sense. So that's another thing for me, like the quality of life, you know? Third is I'm inspired every single day. I wake up, the sun's shining, blasting, you know? I wake up, blast my music, jump in the car, go for a drive. I see nice cars around me, my neighbors driving nice cars and all of that. I don't want to say I'm being materialistic here, bro. It naturally motivates me.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
You know, it naturally motivates me in life to go out there, to work. It motivates me to actually work.
100%.
You know, a lot of people see working as a chore. I enjoy working.
Yeah.
I enjoy going hard to earn a stronger income, make more money or save, whatever. I know we're not talking about financials, but I naturally get motivated by my environment, you know? So that's another. Fourth, I would say there's so much to do. You know, in ends, I would go bowling, like Hollywood Bowl. I would go bowling once in a while and all of that. In ends, like there wasn't much to do. Oh yeah, go to a drive-thru, everybody chill. What do people do? Smoke, all of that. So it's like dead, you know, like chilling on a block, chilling in ends, dead. Here, bro, there's so much to do. You know what I did a couple of days ago? I went Mario Kart Go-Karting.
Is it?
Yeah. I had a blast, bro.
Where was that?
It was like 10 minutes from, it was a Dubai Investment Park.
Oh,
it's down there.
Yeah.
So it's like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Bro, I went Mario Kart Go-Karting. And then after that, in the evening, I posted it on my Insta as well. I was with my family and the missus. We went for a boat ride. We went for a nice boat ride in Marina. And it only cost like £100.
Yeah.
Went for a nice boat ride in Marina. Bro, we spent that in dinner in the UK.
Yeah,
you know, like Nobu, Hakkasan, all of that. Bro, I went Mario Kart Go-Karting, ended the night on a boat, rode around like Palm and all of that, came back to Marina, beautiful views, and then rode an e-scooter around, you know? I wasn't seeing crackheads around, I wasn't seeing nitties, I wasn't seeing man them like chilling on a block, nothing like that.
None of that.
Beautiful views, happy families, all of that.
You don't go anywhere in fear, because in some places in the UK, you're like, nah, let's not go there because we know who's there and the chances are probably going to get robbed. Whereas you go on the Palm, you can go
openly, walk around, chain out, watch out, all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, 100%, man.
Once, I didn't even know you were married.
Yeah.
When did you get married? What year?
I got married December.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Where did you meet your missus, if you don't mind me asking?
Missus, UK.
Okay. Well, you knew her from before?
Yeah. Man.
Okay. Now, tell me how and if, and your wife probably going to watch this podcast, so you're probably going to watch yourself as well.
Yeah.
How has marriage changed you?
Matured me differently, bro. Because now, not only am I providing for myself and my family and so on, I'm providing for somebody else, someone else's daughter, you know? Another man's daughter, another woman's daughter, you know? And it changed my mentality in a sense of, it started making me think even more long term. It started making me think about, okay, I'm probably going to have a child, you know? So if I'm going to have a child, I want to be able to provide the best life possible, you know? So going back, like in my story, you know, when I started making good money and so on, because like I mentioned, I grew up in the UK, normal schools and all of that sort of stuff, government funded, whatnot. I put my little brother in private school. This lifestyle or this income and this where I'm at was able to fund that. I know I'm going to be able to do that for my child. You know, I don't want them to grow up having bad influences or anything like that. I know how easy it is to get influenced, you know, probably even the viewers watching this and so on, bro, like you're in school, like it's cool to smoke, cool to do this, cool to do that, cool to be jamming on the block, cool to be part of some dumb stuff. Bro, I don't want that for my child, you know? But I lived in that. I've seen how easy it is to get enticed into all of that. So, with my missus, after settling down, my mentality has changed so much. I'm thinking much more long term, you know?
Yeah, 100%, alhamdulillah. And then I've got to ask you as well, bro, because there are probably going to be people who watch this right now as well. What is the purpose of you coming on this podcast? The reason why I ask this is because it's not like you're a big social media star or anything like that, right? Where social media stars would want to jump on podcasts all day long. So what is it for you? What is your purpose as to coming on this podcast? Is it to share value with the audience, to learn from your life? Is it for you to, what is it exactly?
So I'll start by saying, you know, when my lifestyle was first changing, I was popping on social media, or I was getting interviewed on Al Jazeera, BBC and all of that. I got all that clout side. It's not about clout for me. More so, I want to be able to get it off my chest. More so about the ups, the downs, have a conversation for possibly my friends, my family to see, possibly even my child in the future to watch and see, like, oh, before I was born.
Don't think about it too much, because that can be my last question. Go on.
Like, possibly to see all of that sort of stuff, you know? So my mentality more so as to coming on this podcast, I thought, bro, it's the right time. I was watching CEOCAST when you guys were hot, popping, when you guys got these crazy guests on, when you guys got these influencers on and so on. And now I see you found your niche. You're doing your thing with CEOs, you know?
Alhamdulillah, that's what it is. You know what it is? Obviously, you go through a stage in order to grow for a podcast, you want to chase bigger and bigger guests. Now, my mentality is I do not care in terms of the following and stuff like that. But if it's someone that can provide real substance and value, then you're welcome on board.
100%.
And obviously, I've got to obviously do fact checks and stuff like that before anyone jumps on now. So, alhamdulillah. Do you know if you're going to have a son or a daughter by any chance?
No.
You don't know? Okay, cool. So let's imagine this. I want you to close your eyes for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you said expecting in July.
Yeah. July, August.
Somewhere around then. But let's just imagine you have your child now, inshallah. In 18 years' time, they stumble across this podcast. You say, oh, that's dad. As you open your eyes, I want you to have a message ready for them. What would it be?
Literally follow your dreams, follow your passions. Don't get influenced by hearsay and what you see on social media, on TV and whatnot, or what looks cool at the time. Make sure you do what you want to do.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Well, Javed, if people want to find you, where can they do so?
On Instagram at javs_official. Yeah, that's it really.
That's it.
I'm not a social media guy like that.
Yeah. Well, this is great because this is your first podcast, so it is real exclusive. So I appreciate you very much for coming in, bro. And hopefully we can run up a part 2 in the future.
100%.
When that company sells for $1 billion or something like that.
Let's go.
And then I'm gonna go to your villa in the palm and be like, yo, listen, buy me the one next door, please.
Sounds good to me, bro. 100%.
Well, people, make sure you tune in to next Sunday where we always have a special guest on the show. As we said before just now, my whole thing is always about providing you guys value. Doesn't mean it's a big social media star or the biggest influencer or anything like that. I just want to make sure you guys take as much knowledge as possible, and I'm sure you guys got that today. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you want, please subscribe. If you want, share this podcast with someone else. And until then, I'll catch you lot next Sunday on the next episode. Peace.